Morning, children. Welcome back to today's class. How are you all? I hope you're all fine and doing well at home, isn't it? Okay. Are you ready for another new lesson? Yes, you're all ready. That's very good. So we are moving to next unit. That is for fifth unit. The fifth unit, the first A reading as well as B reading is an interview. Okay, the lesson is in the form of an interview. The name of the lesson is The Treasure Within. It is in part 1 and part 2. A reading is part 1 and B reading is part 2. The Treasure Within. What is the treasure here? What do you mean by treasure? Generally, we understand that treasure is a hidden wealth. Treasure is a hidden wealth or property. Yes, that is the literal meaning of the word treasure. And all of us, every child who is born, every person, everyone has a hidden treasure. We have a treasure within us. That treasure we have to discover and develop it. Discover the treasure and develop the treasure that God has given us. Here, the word treasure I mean the talents. Every person is born or gifted with some special talents. Yes or no? And we have to find out what is the talent in us. A person may be very talented in playing cricket. Another person may be very talented in acting. Or another person may be very much talented in singing or drawing. We have to discover our talents and try to improve them, develop them so that we can make others happy with our talents, and that also will give us life. No, we should not be discouraged saying that we don't have anything, we don't have any talent. Definitely, if you think you will have particular talent in you, a treasure within you. You know about Sachin Tendulkar, the famous cricket player. He was not very good at studies. He even failed when he was in 9th standard. He was not discouraged because he was not good at studies. But he had talent in another field. You know, very good cricket player. From his school days onwards, he was playing cricket, and you know about him. He became international cricket player, international famous cricket player. Okay, like that, we have to discover the talents or the treasure that is within us and develop. So that is the meaning of the treasure within. A reading is part 1 and B reading is part 2. So this lesson is in the form of an interview. Interview between two people, Miss Bella Raja and Mr. Hafiz, contractor. In this lesson, we are going to study about Mr. Hafiz, the contractor. He was one of India's leading architects, builder. Architect here meaning builder. So interview between Miss Bella Raja. She was editor of Sparsh. Bella Raja was editor of Sparsh. Sparsh is a newsletter from Resource Center. Newsletter from Resource Center, which belonged to the Valley School in Bangalore. So she was the editor of a newsletter that belonged to Sparsh. Okay, so that is Miss Bella Raja, and between Bella Raja and Hafiz the contractor. Okay, children, are you ready to study about Hafiz the contractor? India's leading architect. This man, as a student, he was not at all good at studies. Not at all good at studies. He used to fail in most of the subjects. He was interested in playing games, very much interested in playing games, making fun of others, disturbing the class, and so on. Very naughty child in the class, and he used to get punishment often from his teachers. Okay, but this person had one talent, not only in playing games, he was good at all games, and not only that, he was good at drawing. He was good at drawing, and that talent in drawing helped him to become a famous contractor, a famous architect, leading architect in India. So we shall read about him, study about him. Are you all ready? Those who have textbooks, please open your textbooks and follow the lesson. All the children, open your textbooks. Take Unit 5. Unit 5, a reading, The Treasure Within. That part 1. Okay? Unit 5, a reading, part 1. Okay, children. So, it is beginning with Hafiz the contractor. HC is the abbreviation, shortened form for Hafiz the contractor. HC. Hafiz the contractor. HC. BR. BR is the short form for Bella Raja. BR. Okay? HC. Hafiz the contractor. So, Miss Bella Raja asked Hafiz the contractor to tell her about his early education. To tell her about his early education. And what did he say? Look at your books now. I shall read. Look at your books. Hafiz says, I used to have this terrible nightmare. Only now, for the last 4 to 5 years, it seems to have disappeared. He said that he used to have this terrible nightmare. What do you mean by nightmare? Look here, nightmare meaning frightening dream. A frightening dream. Hafiz used to get terrible nightmares, fearful nightmares. Terrible used in negative sense, not in positive sense. Bad, fearful dreams he used to get. And again he says, only now for the last 4 or 5 years, it seems to have disappeared. Last 4 to 5 years, his terrible nightmares slowly and slowly disappeared from his sleep or disappeared from his mind. He was not getting so many nightmares nowadays. Next, Bella Raja. What nightmare are you talking about? And why do you think it has disappeared now? She did not understand what he meant by the word nightmare. What type of nightmares he was getting. That's why she asked, what nightmare are you talking about and why do you think these nightmares have disappeared nowadays? And what is his response? He said, I used to get continuous nightmares about appearing for a math examination where I did not know anything. Very clearly said, whenever he had to write a math examination,